Hey, what's up, everybody? Dave Shrein here. Welcome to this episode of The Facts. I'm very excited to be bringing to you this episode live from, I think I'm going to call it the Content Marketing Studio right here in Chandler, Arizona. I'm not sure. Still playing around with the name, but I'm thinking, man, we should call the studio something. We should call the office something. But either which way, I'm glad to be bringing to you this episode of The Facts Online Business Questions Answered. So, right off the bat, I want to get straight into top of mind, the things that I am thinking about. And the first thing that I am thinking about is the fact that out here in Arizona, the Phoenix Suns have won for the first time ever in the history of the franchise. They have won the first overall draft pick in the 2018 NBA draft. And this is actually a really, really big deal for all Phoenix Suns fans because back when the franchise started, there was a coin toss between the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks, two expansion franchises. And the Phoenix Suns lost that coin flip. And who did the Milwaukee Bucks take first overall? Lou Alcindor, who would eventually become Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is, of course, now any basketball fan knows, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. After him is Karl Malone, and after him is Michael Jordan, and I believe LeBron James just became number 4. So anyways, that's kind of what's going on out here in Arizona. A couple other things that are on top of my mind is I have my coffee drink here from the Coffee Rush. And so Coffee Rush is a fantastic local coffee shop out here in Arizona. They've got several different locations. Chandler, Gilbert, Tempe. They've got great locations. They've got great coffee, great family-run business. And they sell the big bottles of Torani syrup. So if you've seen them, it's the syrup that's used for Italian sodas. And so I wanted to see, would it be beneficial? Would there be any benefit? Would there be any reason to kind of get a little bit healthier, step away from the processed Coffee Mate vanilla creamer and try to do something a little alternative? Do the vanilla syrup with the almond milk. And so we tried it for a little bit. And we liked it a lot. And then my wife and I, we decided, you know what, let's go sugar-free. We've got the Torani syrup that's the sugar. Let's go the sugar-free. We didn't like it. So today I stopped back at the Coffee Rush. I got my bottle of Torani syrup, the sugared Torani syrup. And so we'll be getting off. We actually had the sugar-free and we didn't like it so much that we went and we bought the Coffee Mate creamer, which I love, but trying to get a little bit healthier and getting rid of some of the processed things. So that's the second thing on the top of my mind. The third thing on top of mind is in the last week or so, I've been doing a lot of copywriting, copywriting for Facebook ads specifically. And I'll tell you what, I've had so much fun writing headlines, descriptions, and messages for Facebook ads. Facebook ads, if you haven't done them, they're incredibly powerful. There's a lot of benefit to doing them. The thing is that you really want to make sure that you get your writing correct. You want to get the copy, the words that you use, you want to get that correct. And so we just recently started doing Facebook ads for a few select customers while we try to figure out the best way to make it happen, the most profitable way to make it happen. But what we do is we create about 10 different headlines, 10 different descriptions. So the headline, when you create a Facebook ad or when you share a link on Facebook, you've got your thumbnail, then underneath you have the headline, and then underneath that you have a description. So we do, between 5 to 10 different images, about 10 different headlines, 10 different descriptions, and one message. And so it's been a lot of fun getting the offers from the clients who we're doing Facebook ads for, writing Facebook copy for them, writing ad copy, and then pushing those live to our software that we use to manage Facebook ads. So that's been something that I've really enjoyed doing a lot of. I've been sending them back to the clients. They've really been happy with the copy that's been written, and now we're just having to dial in the Facebook ads. And though we're not talking about Facebook ads today, really, Facebook ads comes down to two things. One, your copy, and two, your target audience. And really understanding who you're going to reach and what messaging that group that you're trying to reach, what messaging you need to put in front of them to actually get them to respond. And we'll go into a little bit more about that later on in today's episode, which is all about engaging with your customers and how to get them to engage with your products and services. And the last thing that's kind of on the top of mind is as soon as I'm done with this episode, I'm going to be doing a full-length talk for That Church Summit It runs at the end of May, and I'll put a link in the comments section. If you work in a nonprofit, heck, if you work in a for-profit, that church summit is a great free live streaming event that's going to be filled with all sorts of digital communication, marketing, materials and training. And my talk is all about live streaming. So I'm going to share a little bit about what we do here on the Facts, what we've done for some of our clients. And I've actually been on Periscope for a long period of time and built up a huge following on Periscope. And so I'll be sharing a little bit of what I did there. So that is what's top of mind. What we're going to get into now is the question for the day. And before we do that, if you have any questions throughout this broadcast, feel free to leave them in the comment section, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching on replay. Leave them in the comment section, and we will get to those, and maybe we'll even make them an episode for future or topics for a future episode. But for now, let's get into today's question, and for that, we have Jordan bringing us today's question.
Hey Dave, what's up? I'm just checking in with you, seeing how things are going. I'm currently at Target, just strolling around, checking some things out, and I thought I would bring up this week's question. So, how do we get our customers and our audience engaged in what we're selling? I'd love to hear your answer, and I think that this is a huge question that's asked all the time, so let me know.
So that is a great question, and Jordan's absolutely correct. It's a huge question that gets asked by all sorts of people, because the truth is when we start to use the internet for marketing, we put ourselves out there, we put our business out there, whether we're just starting as a business or whether we're just starting to use the internet to promote our business. Right now, we're working with, I think, 3 or 4 clients who are well-established businesses. They've just never really had a well-established internet presence. And so we're working hard to get that going for them, making sure that when people search for them online, they actually are able to find them and find accurate information. But this question of how do I get my customers to engage with my products and services online, it's one that perplexes us, because often we do the shot heard round the world type marketing, right? Like we're really excited about our website launching, or really excited about starting a Facebook page. And we say, okay, we're going to build. And then we put a post out there on social media, or we send an email out to our friends and family, or we click publish on a brand new website and nothing really happens. How do we get our customers to engage with what we're doing, with what we're selling? And so I've got a few thoughts that we're going to run through, just kind of walk through one by one. If you have any questions as throughout, put them in the comment section below, and we'll be sure to get to those at the end. Or if you're watching the replay, we'll come back and circle around to them. But the first thing that needs to be said is you're going to succeed online. You need to have a strong visual brand. You need to have a strong visual brand that is recognizable across all of the different mediums that you're going to be present. So what that means is, first and foremost, you need to have a strong visual logo. A lot of times, we think that we don't need to have much time or effort put into our logo. And so we'll try to find something for $15, $20 that's like, yeah, that looks good. And we'll put that out there, and it'll kind of be a cartoon looking thing, or it will kind of be, kind of a clip art that we've put together. We don't really have a strong visual logo because we didn't put strong amounts of attention into it. And so one of the things that we advocate, and I advocate for anybody that's trying to do business online, is to actually have strong visual branding. And that includes your logo. Put actual time, attention, and in a lot of cases, finances behind your logo. Let's say that you are a contractor. And let's say you're launching your business online, and you never really had a great strong logo. What you did was you just kind of found something or drew something out and scanned it in, and now that's your logo. Well, what would you say to somebody who says, you know what, I'm going to be a general contractor, and they go from one day not being a general contractor to the next day being a general contractor? Can they do that job? Maybe. Can they do that job effectively? Probably not. Are they going to miss a lot of easy wins? Absolutely. Is it probably going to do more? Are they probably going to do more harm than good going from not being a general contractor to being a general contractor? Absolutely. It's not going to be good for anybody. But there's this, because visual branding has been so commoditized, and it's become so easy for anybody to open up a program like Canva or to buy a copy of Photoshop. all of a sudden business owners, and if this is you, I'm calling you out on it. Business owners think that, oh, I can do this. Whatever I produce is going to be good enough. But in the same way that somebody who just tries to jump into your industry and produce what you've been producing and learning about over the last 5, 10, 20 years, the same exists for when you're talking about visual branding. You can't just jump in and create something that's going to benefit your business. If anything, you're going to create something that's going to damage your business. So what I advise people to do, whether they're working with our company or whether they have a friend who's into branding or whether they have a family member who's getting into branding, enlist the help and the services of people who are as seasoned and experienced in this line of work as you are in your line of work. So if you're just getting started, feel free. Just go find someone who's getting started in visual branding. If you've been in visual branding for 5 years, find someone else who's been in visual branding for 5 years. 10 years, find someone who's been in it for 10 years. Do you see the point here? The idea that you can just step into a world of digital marketing, not having any experience, and immediately be able to engage with your customers, and better yet, have them come and engage with you. It's a very difficult proposition to make. So I would recommend enlisting the services of somebody who is as experienced in that area as you are in yours. So not only do you need to have a strong logo, but you need to have strong visual assets that will be seen on social media, your website, live streaming events, invitations, print. And so just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, one of the things that we've done is create we call these visual marketing assets. And these visual marketing assets, you can see there's consistency between every single one of them. Right here on the Bobby Jones, you can see there's quotes. You can see there's kind of blog post images. You can see there's square images. You can see that there are lyric images at the bottom, but all of them have a similar feel, similar coloring, similar style of photography with them. If you go to the middle, you can see what we've got at Shrein Media. You can see quote images up and to the left. You can see a statement image up and to the right. You can see kind of a featured image just down there below the statement image with the guy scratching his forehead with the circle behind it. You can see some additional quote images down in the lower left. You can see some statistic images. And then on the right-hand side, you see developing workers. This is a nonprofit. And so you can see consistency in all of the different images that we've developed for developing workers, from their new blog posts to quotes to statements to event launches, to trip details. You can see all of those visual images match one another. They're similar. And then if you want to go one step further, you can see right here, sorry about that. You can see right here how our visual images have worked out for Shrein Media. Do you see how there's a similarity not only between image to image, but style of image to style of image? There's a consistency. And so when people interact with our brand online, they see this consistency in branding. They get a feel for our excellence. They get a feel for our style. And so that's what you really want to look for when you're talking about getting your customers to engage with your content online. Consistency in your imagery, consistency in your visual branding, it instills confidence. It lets them know that you are legit. It lets them know that you've put time, you've put effort, you've put attention, you've put energy behind how your brand is represented. So that's the first thing, is you need to have a strong visual brand if you want to attract people to your business. The second business online. The second thing is you want to engage with your audience on their turf. Now there's two ways to do this. And the first way that I'm going to talk about is individual ambassadors. So if you are an individual ambassador, whether for a company or whether for your own company, but you're going out there and you're trying to connect as an individual, there's a few ways that you can do that. First and foremost is to get involved in Facebook groups or online groups that are talking about things related to your industry, related to your products, related to your services. Go into those forums and start engaging. Don't just send traffic back to your website. Say, oh, hire us to do this, hire us to do this. That's not what you want to do. That's not going to attract anybody. People don't like that. People are looking for real, practical, and tactical solutions. So when you engage on an individual level, on an individual level with any other products or any other groups out there, don't point back to your products and services. Just straight up answer the questions or add commentary to the topics that are being already talked about in those groups. So contribute to the conversation. Add meaningful information, add meaningful responses to Facebook groups, to forums, go on to Reddit threads. Reddit's a huge untapped resource for so many different industries. You can go in there. Let's say that you are I'm a RAV4 owner. I own a RAV4 Toyota. And one of the things that Toyota has really struggled with is bringing in CarPlay and I think it's called CarPlay from Apple into the dash units, and the Android is called, I think, Android Mobile or Android Vehicle, something like that, Android Car. And they've had this, they've been dedicated to producing their own, which is a horrible service, and they've kind of shrugged off doing the Android or the Apple versions of the car operating systems. And so I went on Reddit trying to find people who have actually converted their RAV4 in-dash car unit to a CarPlay unit. And so if you run an audio, a car audio or a car video company online or in person, that's a great way for you to go in and start engaging with the conversations that are already happening on these platforms, conversations that are already happening around your topic on these various platforms. The last one is local events. What local events are you a part of? What local events are you showing up to? Where these audience members, where these potential customers are already talking about things related to your business. Are you involved in the community, especially if you're a brick and mortar? Are you involved in the community? Now, if you're a brick and mortar and you're in something like auto mechanic service, well, everybody is going to need an auto mechanic. Everybody across all industries. So what kind of events are you involved in the community where you can engage and network with people so that when they need an auto mechanic, they'll think of you? And I'm not talking about these local network businesses like B&I, things like that. Those are great. But what I'm talking about is even service projects, service industry opportunities, right? Going and volunteering. Where are you networking with other people in a professional capacity that gives you an opportunity to share your business, your products, your services, so that when they need you, they'll know where to find you. So that's the first way of engaging people on their turf, is to actually be an individual ambassador and individually connect with people in groups, on social media, local events, community forums. Now, the other way to do it is as a company. So there's individual, but now there's as a company. So I can connect with people individually as Dave Shrein, but as a company, as Shrein Media, I want to be able to connect regardless of who's behind the brand. I want them to be able to connect as Shrein Media. So the first way to meet and engage with your audience on their turf is to create valuable content around the topics, around the questions, around the information that they are most interested in. So whether it's creating live stream events like this, whether it's going and writing blog posts, whether that is related to what they're looking for, whether it's answering questions, doing Ask Me Anything, whether it's doing case studies, whatever it is they're interested in, create original content that addresses those wants, those needs, those desires, those questions directly. That's one way that you can engage on their turf. Don't just talk about the things you're interested in. Talk about the things that they're interested in and engage with them, not expecting to have a conversion right then or there, but just trying to be of use, trying to be of help. That's the first way that you can do it as a company. The second way is investing in ad networks, Facebook ads specifically. Go to the places where they are already congregating, and they're already congregating on Facebook. There was a statistic, there was research done by the Pew Group, Pew Research, and there was a statistic that said something like 78 or 68% of people, I've got the statistic right here, I'll find it. 74% of people use Facebook for professional purposes. And that was actually done by HubSpot. So excuse me, not the Pew Research Group, but the HubSpot annual marketing, state of digital marketing. 78% of professionals surveyed said that they use Facebook for professional purposes. Your audience is on Facebook. So invest in Facebook ads. Meet them on their turf. Create valuable content. Promote that content over Facebook ads so it gets in front of them, and allow them the opportunity to come to you as you go to them. You're investing money in Facebook ads saying, look, I'm going to come straight to you. I'm going to put my content in front of you I believe that this content solves a problem that you have. I believe that this content scratches an itch that you've been wanting to scratch. I believe that this is going to be of service, so I'm meeting you on your turf. And then if it does, it's going to drive them back and engage with your products, engage with your services. And the last thing is always address the larger needs of your clients that your services or your products have a part to play. So if you are a car mechanic, so we'll go back to that example. If you're a car mechanic, the immediate need is to have the car serviced. But the larger need is to actually avoid missing time at work, or actually avoid having to take time away from family, or actually avoid having to take time and drop the car off at night and need a loaner vehicle. Address the larger picture. Address all of the other things that are of concerns to that particular person. So how do you maximize time with your family when your car is in the shop? That's the larger concern. How do you, how can you avoid being without a car while your car is being serviced? And so maybe offer a loaner vehicle and talk about, the different options for loaner vehicles, whether it's renting a car, whether it's using a mechanic that has a loaner vehicle on site, or whether it's planning your preventative maintenance for when family's going to be out of town. Address the larger needs of that particular client. And so you're not always just talking about your products, your service. You're talking about, hey, look, we understand what's going on in your life. Here's some ways that Auto Mechanic fits in, but how you can kind of address that need, the overarching need overall. So that is engage with your audience on their turf. The next thing that we want to talk about is be a consistent voice of reason and a consistent voice of hope in the lives of your audience, in the lives of your customers. So first and foremost, I want to say don't give up. The online business, the online marketing, the social media marketing, the content marketing world, it's a very easy world to give up in. Why? Because we do put in a whole bunch of effort, a whole bunch of time, even a whole bunch of money, and we don't see results, or at least we don't see results immediately. Our temptation is to quit. Our temptation is to say, well, I tried that once, it didn't work, I'm not going to do it again. But you see, when you do that, you're actually selling yourself short. You did all of that work, and even though it didn't convert the first time, if you maintain consistency, if you continue to show up, you're going to give your audience an opportunity to find you on their timeline, on their terms, when their needs are the greatest. So don't give up. People don't need you right now. They need you when they need you. So be consistent. This is one reason why having a strategy when we're talking about internet marketing is so important, because without a strategy, you're just kind of picking and choosing. You're just kind of, oh, I think this might work today. Oh, I think that might work tomorrow. And so when it doesn't work out, you're all out of ideas. Whereas if you have a strategy, say, you know what, I've thought it through. I've worked with a business, somebody who works in this world. We've agreed that this is a great way to go about getting people interested in my products, getting people interested in my services. So have a strategy that you can follow. So when the going gets tough, you can be the tough one who gets going. Don't just give up after things don't pan out after a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or your first try. Be around so that you can capitalize on all of that work and be present when the audience member that you're trying to connect with actually needs you. The next part of being a consistent hope and reason is develop consistent language. Now, we've already talked about visual branding. So let's hop back to the branding conversation. The language that you use needs to be consistent, because as much as visual markers are branding your business, the language you choose to use is branding your business as well. I'll give you a great example. One of the phrases that we use at Shrein Media, and we even have a t-shirt all about it, is the one that I just shared. People don't need you right now. They need you when they need you. Be consistent. That is language that we use across the board. If you continue to tune into the Facts, you're going to continue to hear us use language like that. Another piece of language that we use a lot is "we got this." And that points to the ownership, the value that we have of extreme ownership. We don't point fingers as a company at our clients, and we don't point fingers at teammates, at coworkers. We all take individual responsibility, and we are the champions for the individual tasks that have been assigned to us. That's language that's consistent in our company. And the more we use that consistent language, the more that you hear me say, people don't need you right now. They need you when they need you. Be consistent. The more you are going to associate our business with that language. So you'll hear someone say, be consistent, and all of a sudden you're going to think Shrein Media. You're going to think the Facts, online business questions answered. Identify consistent language that articulates your beliefs, your approach, your processes, your ways of doing things, and lean on that language over and over and over. And in that way, you will build a strong brand that draws people back to you, that gives them hope, and provides reason. Because if you can be consistent and see through the tough times, they can be consistent and see through the tough times. If you are consistent in what you're talking about and how you're applying it to your business, then you're going to be consistent in what you're talking about, applying it to their business. So that's another way to be a consistent voice of reason and hope. And the last way is to paint a picture of what life should look like. Right here, you can't see it, but on my second monitor, I have a statement that says, you are great at information. Always remember inspiration. Customers aren't really interested in stuff. After they've been sold on you, your business, your solution, your product, your service, that's when they become interested in, okay, what's the deliverable? What's the stuff that I'm going to get? What they really want is for you to paint a picture of what life looks like for them now, and they'll say, yeah, that's how I feel. Where they want to go, yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. And ultimately where they're going to be. Holy smokes, if you could get me there, that would be fantastic. You are actually painting a picture of transformation. And once they've bought into that picture of transformation, then you say, okay, here's the stuff, here's the things, here's the deliverables that are actually going to get us there. So paint a picture of what transformation looks like. And if you can be consistent, going back to our previous point, if you can be consistent in actually pulling in that language to paint that transformation, you're going to do wonders for your business when it comes to getting people to grab onto your products and services. And if you're consistent in showing up, not giving up after one try, they're going to say, you know what? I'm ready. I've been listening to this company. I've been following them. I subscribe to their method of approaching whatever it is you do. I'm going to buy in. So those are the three ways that you can be a consistent voice of hope and reason. The last thing that I want to talk about is providing a clear and unmistakable offer. And I need to start this off by saying you cannot base your business around the concept of customization. When we're young in our businesses, we say we provide a customized experience. Everybody else out there puts you through a system or a process. We provide a customized experience. The reason why a lot of people don't do customized experiences, customized products, is because custom takes 10 times more effort, 10 times more time, I guess you would say. It takes a lot more than simply saying, hey, this is the process that we're going to follow to get you from point A to point B. Customize is where you will cut your sales process off at the knees. Why? Because you're not selling the same thing to every single person that comes through. What you need to do is you need to have a consistent offer that has consistent language and that provides an unmistakable transformation. So when somebody calls you up and says, hey, I've got this problem. Can you help me? You say, absolutely. I have exactly what you need. And you point to a predefined offer, a predefined outcome, a predefined set of deliverables so that you can go from interest to contract signed with as little friction and as little time as possible. Avoid customization. Now, you might say, but Dave, customization is really what we have going for our business. No, you have customer service going for your business. You can customize the customer service experience as much as you want because you're going to use systems, processes. You're going to use a predefined system of steps to deliver the product, to deliver the end result. But all along the way, you are going to meet that customer's needs where they are as far as it comes to customer service. You're going to have an individualized customer service experience. The deliverables are going to be processed, but the customer service experience is going to be individualized and customized for that particular person. So you really want to thrive on customer service, not customization. So there you have it. That is how you can draw people into your brand, into your world, into your business. That's how you can get them to engage with your products and your service. In just summary, have a strong visual brand, engage with your audience on their turf, be consistent in giving hope, being a voice of hope and reason, and then provide a clear, unmistakable offer. Make it so stupid simple for them to say yes, that you eliminate all of the back and forth that typically comes with customized sales and customized solutions. So on top of all of this, what I need to say is that you need to have a deep concern and desire for the welfare of the person that you're trying to help, or the companies or the industry that you're trying to help. It really has to be the overarching or underlying, whichever illustration you want to use, motivator. Okay? You really want to have those there. That concern there, because if you're a phony, they'll sniff it out. But if they know that you genuinely want to see them succeed, they'll be able to sense that. And so all of the free things that you give away, all the content that you create, it's going to be done with an attitude of concern and wanting to be of help, wanting to be an advocate, wanting to see them grow their business unlike any other company that they've interacted with. And then the second that they get to the point that says, man, I just need some help in this, that's when they're going to call you. So if you have any questions about what we've talked about, whether, again, you've watched live or you're watching the replay, please go ahead, leave a comment section below. I would love to get to those for you, love to answer those for you. Jordan and I will both be watching those. I'm excited to continue to do the Facts Online Business Questions Answered. And so if you have something that you want to reach out to our team, you can send a message to info@shrinmedia.com. Those come directly to me and my team, and would love to be able to help you in anything that you have going on, maybe provide a little bit more individualized customer service right there to help you get unstuck and move forward in your business. So if you'd like to get notifications for our next episode, you can go to shrinmedia.com/show, shrinmedia.com/show. I'll put that in the comment section below. But if there's nothing else, thank you so much for hanging out. It is a pleasure to bring these episodes to you. Go back. Be sure to find us on YouTube. If you're already watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our channel and watch all the past episodes. There's a lot of really good stuff that we've been putting out that has been coming directly from our customers. So our clients, our customers, people who are already following and engaging with our brand, they're the ones who are generating these questions. And it's been going great so far, and I'm excited to continue into the future. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.